Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
First running back drafted in April. This is Breece Hall. And he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now a throw here to his running back, finding space at the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Garrett Wilson.
His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Jets are on the board here first in the season opener. Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them. They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Elijah Moore, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
On second down, here's the option. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun, Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. John Franklin Myers in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield.
And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Jackson. He's got a man complete. The 20.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Pretty good first down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense and have an option available on every snap.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Ravens are able to cut into that deficit.
Tucker with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Braxton Berrios now from his end zone.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back. You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. With it is Jackson. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll run with Hall. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
On 1st down, Goodson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Tyler Goodson with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Wilson will throw again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit if they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. John Franklin Myers getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. Now after that sack, it's third and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Looking to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. John Franklin Myers drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up fourth down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here comes Berrios. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. John Franklin Myers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the right side, and he's got more complete. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Jackson to return. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Right back to him on 1st down. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jetsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game.
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing him play all the way to the end.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the 3rd. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff. Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Goodson. And he's got room. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. But I think that they were right about this one.
They go play action with Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. 1st down sack, 2nd down negative rushing play.
And I will guarantee you right now the head coach is weighing in on his headset to the offense coordinator, whether he thinks it's strategy or he thinks it's execution, because that's going to determine this next play call. Are you staying?
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Ball again on 2nd down. He will push his way down to about the 14. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield? The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Throwing is Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Pass is tipped, but he's still able to bring it in. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson options out left, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That was Carl Lawson in pursuit that time, and he gets the stop. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing, Jackson. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Fourth down, here's Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10.
That's a fourth down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Goodson, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
So third down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. There he goes left side. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Here we go.
One last shot for Wilson. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game